So I believe I am back live here from Richmond, Indiana. Score here now 5-2. Mariners on top still. Catch you up on what you missed out on. In this inning, in the top of the sixth, Chris Myers went down, or Jaron Lovely went down looking. I don't know if he got the Evan Spry swinging strikeout as well. Then in the bottom of the sixth, Jackson Blevins grounded out to first. It was a 3-1 as Bear Bellamy, still on the mound, was covering. So 3-1 got Blevins out. Then Austin Ulick drew a 1-out walk and then struck out swinging on 3 pitches with Robbie Magaha. So that will mean that Austin Turner, the shortstop, 0-for-2 on the day, is now at bat. I do apologize for technical errors here. For some reason, the hotspot I use decided to restart. Runner goes here, doesn't matter, as it's fouled off. Count now goes to 1-2 here to Turner. Managed to get onto the Jazz Wi-Fi though, so that should fix that problem. I'd like to thank you all for being patient with me as I fix those problems. 5-2 the score here. 1-2 the count here to Turner, who struck out swinging his 2 times up here thus far. He's 0-for-2 on the day. Here comes the delivery to him with 2 outs. Hit into the gap into center field, right center field. That'll advance the runner to second, and that'll be Austin Turner's first hit with a 2-out single. That'll bring up Bailey Moses, also struck out his 2 previous times up. Both were swinging. He's 0-for-2 on the day, the third baseman is. And it looks like we are going to have a meeting on the mound here between head coach Damon Hacker, Bear Bellamy, and that will actually be the day for Bear Bellamy. We will talk about the new pitcher when we come back. You're listening to Mariners Baseball here. They have a 5-2 lead. Runner on first, runner on second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Thank you for listening. I'll be right back. So, new pitcher on the mound for the Mariners now here. If you're just tuning back in, there are 2 outs, runner on first, runner on second. Bear Bellamy went 5 2/3 innings. He allowed 2 runs, only one of which was earned, though. 4 hits, 3 walks, and he struck out 8 batters. New pitcher on the mound for the Mariners now is Jonah Jenkins, wearing number 51. He is 1-0 on the season. He's to be his 3rd appearance. He's a Dartmouth College attendee from Parker, Colorado. Mentioned it, Snowden, Colorado. He has a 7.36 ERA in 3 2/3 innings pitched thus far for him. Again, I do apologize for you guys just tuning in for my technical difficulties I've been having here. For some reason, the hotspot I use decided to keep restarting for whatever reason. I'll look into that here, but I'm on now a different Wi-Fi source, and I should be good for the rest of the game. Thank you for being so patient here. Mariners are on top, really. That's all that matters, as we are in the bottom of the 6th. Bailey Mosley, the batter, stepping in. He struck out swinging both of his first 2 times up. He's 0-for-2 now on the day, as he steps in for the 3rd time, trying to improve his fate here against the new pitcher, the righty, in Jonah Jenkins. Here comes the delivery to him. He'll swing this one out. Looked like it was going to be inside, but he swings at this one and fouls it straight back. Count goes 0-1 to him. Count 0-1 1-1. Jenkins to Mosley. Here, and the one almost gets away from Adams, but he will gather it up nicely. Count goes to 1-1. That was a high fastball there. 1-1 the count. Check back here to second. Again, there's a runner on first in Austin Turner, a 2-out single, and a 1-out walk by Austin Ulick. Those are the runners on base. Here comes the 1-1 delivery. This one is popped high. Count goes to 1-2. By the way, also for Jonah Jenkins, he only has 1 strikeout, hasn't issued a walk yet this season. He's very much a pitch-to-contact kind of pitcher. He's got a 1-2 count now here. See what he can do now against Ulick. Again, struck out swinging both times up. Jenkins will gather at the letters. Check back here to second in Ulick. Long look before the 1-2 delivery, as this one's just throwing the bat at it to stay alive, will be Bailey Moses. Count remains at 1-2. 6 hits for the Mariners on the day. Just 4 for the Jazz. If you're just tuning in with us, thank you. I've hopefully gotten over my technical issues hump here now today. So here comes the 1-2 delivery. This one is inside. Ball 2. Now the count evens up at 2-2. If you are just tuning in with us here today, I'd like to remind you about where the runs have been coming from. Ryan Stacy's been the primary culprit. He went 2 for 2 before being pulled out. But for Hayden Cart, he went 2 for 2 with 4 RBIs. It was a solo shot with 1 out in the second, as this one is off the bat here. Thrown over to second for 1, and that will get the force out to end the inning. Bailey Moses will go down on a fielder's choice to end the inning. It was 4-6, by the way, was the play. So that will retire the side here. And we will now head to the bottom, or the top of the 7th here. Mariners enjoying a 5-2 lead in this inning. No runs scored on the 1 hit. 2 men were left. 1 man was left aboard, and no errors occurred. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. I'll be right back. So we are now in the top of the 7th. Chris Myers, Jake McCall, and Hayden Cart due up for your Grand Lake Mariners. Again, Mariners enjoying that 5-2 lead, primarily 4 RBIs brought to the bat of Ryan Stacy, who was retired early after going 2 for 2 with a solo shot home run in the second, and then a 3 RBI double in the third. Chris Myers now steps in, though. He is 1 for 3 on the day. He'll be looking to get his second base hit here as he looks at a low fastball for ball number 1. 1-0 now the count. Here to Myers with his 1 hit. It was a single back in the third. Other than that, a couple of flyouts for him. So he's gotten solid contact, just not enough to get hits. Here comes a 1-0 count to him. This is low as well. 2-0 now the count. Count now. Here, 5-2 lead, Mariners leading. This is a fastball just inside. 3-0 now the count here to Myers. Again, plays shortstop, but also has spent some time at third base as well for the Mariners. He usually plays shortstop whenever Blake Crossing isn't. 3-0 count here. It's a walk issue now on 4 straight pitches. A leadoff runner for the Mariners for Jake McCall now to step in. Actually,
designated hitter number 50, Jake McCall.
Is Jake McCall stepping in. He's got a leadoff base runner now here with nobody out. He'll be trying to get to work. He is 0 for 3 on the day. Actually 0 for 2. Most recently, he reached on an error back in the 5th. He drew a walk in the 3rd. Here comes the first pitch to him. Low outside, ball 1. Want to know now the count? 5-2. The score. Mariners scoring their 5 runs on 6 hits. 4 hits for the home team Jazz. Jazz have also committed 2 errors, just 1 for the Mariners. The team committing less errors is winning. Go figure. As this one missing high. Ball 2. And now 2-0 is the count. We're going to have a conversation on the mound here between catcher Ulick and pitcher Freeman. Freeman, by the way, a left-handed pitcher. Don't all know what got messed up when the technical error issues were occurring. If you did miss that, the starting pitcher, Aaron Ernest, was pulled after 5 innings of work. Grant Freeman now replaced him. He's a left-handed pitcher. He just joined the team here today. He's in his 2nd inning of work. He got a 1-2-3 inning back in the 6th. Now in the 7th, he allowed a leadoff walk, and he's down in the count. 0-2 here to Jake McCall, the designated hitter, who's 0 for 2 on the day, reached on an error in the 5th, and walked back in the 3rd. So he's been on the bags twice. As here comes the 2-0 delivery to him. This is hit, and the second baseman coming over, making the play. Davis will throw him out at first. A runner advances, so that'll be 4-3. Runner advances to second on the play. Chris Myers is now in score position. Hayden Cart playing center fielder. He came in for Ryan Stacy after Ryan Stacy got the red-hot start. He popped out his most recent time up to second. He will now bat. He bats right. Hayden Cart, by the way, attends the University of Charleston. He's from Grove City, Ohio. For Charleston, he's a sophomore this next season. He's a sport business major. Hits .243 on the season with .263 on-base percentage, an RBI to his name, and a couple of stolen bases for Charleston this past season. His runner goes to third. Not in time is the throw. As the pitch missed, it was a great jump there by Myers. He is now 90 feet away. That'd be the 6th run for the Mariners. So a stolen base there for Myers now. Who again advanced on the fielder's choice. Hit off for Jake McCall. Hayden Cart now cuts on and misses. He goes with a 1-1 count now. Cart for Charleston this past season had 42 appearances with 34 starts, hitting .336, 32 RBIs, 6 home runs, 6 doubles. Pretty solid year at Charleston for him. On this season, he's trying to really get going. But he is hitting .243, which is not bad. He's got a 1-1 count here now. I'm sure he would love to see his numbers improve, but I've never known a player to ever be happy with what they're doing. They always want to be better. Here comes the 1-1 delivery to him. Checks his swing. Does not go around. It's low, ball 2. 2-1 now the count here to Cart. He came in defensively for Stacy, and then he replaced Stacy in the lineup. As a 2-1 count he has with a runner at third. He will look at an inside knee-high fastball, and they'll call it strike 2. 2-2 now the count. 1 out. Hayden Cart's got an even count now. 5-2 the score. Runner on third. Here comes the delivery. As it's cut on and missed, down goes swinging his Cart. That'll be the 2nd time he goes out today. He's 0 for 2 to bring up Logan Adams, the catcher. He's 1 for 3. Had a single in his most recent at-bat with 1 out. He had a single back in the 5th. So 1 for 3. You'll see what he can do now with a runner on third. With 2 outs, though, it's got to be a hit to drive the runner in. Of course, there could be a wild pitch, pass ball. We'll see what happens, though. Runner on third. Here with 2 outs, here comes the first pitch to Adams. This will be a knee-high fastball at the corner. Strike 1. 0-1 the count. Get you some updates from some scores around the league in just a second, but we will wait on the 0-1 pitch here from the left-handed pitcher, as this is also catching that inside corner at the knees. 0-2 now the count. Freemian trying to get out of this inning with, he's got an 0-2 count here to Adams with a runner at third though with 2 outs. Hamilton Joes beat the Leprechauns at home 9-5. As here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Adams goes down swinging to end the inning. That'll be the 4th strikeout of the day here for Freon, the bullpen lefty. They'll be able to now head to the bottom of the 7th. This is a 7-inning stretch here in Richmond, Indiana. We'll be right back. Mariners have a 5-2 lead, though. Be right back. Back out in Richmond, Indiana. 5-2 the score. Mariners on top here in the bottom of the 7th, due up for the Jazz. It will be the 9-hitter DeAndre Davis. Then back to the top of the order in Jacob Burlingame and Patrick Smith. 0-for-2 is Davis. He's got a couple of ground outs to his name. One to shortstop, then one to third base. He now steps up, batting right here against the right-handed pitcher Jonah Jenkins, who, by the way, came in with 1 out, as this one is right off the bat here. Quickly diving and making the play but not able to was Van Aker, the third baseman. It popped foul anyway, so count goes 0-1. Van Aker with the hustle play tried to come over, but he was unable to do though. So Jonah Jenkins entering the 2nd time this game. He came in with 2 outs back in the previous inning. Got the 1 out. As this one cracked high off the bat and goes foul again. Count 0-2 here. Jenkins to Davis. Bottom of the 7th, Mariners have a 5-2 lead. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to him. This one is chopped. Running in, Van Aker will make the play. Goes over to first, and he is retired. 5-3. The 3rd time Davis has been grounded out. He goes to 0-3 to bring up Jacob Burlingame. Top of the order. He is 1-for-2 with a walk back in the 3rd and a single in the 1st. Swung himself into a strikeout in his most recent time up back in the 5th. This will be his 4th plate appearance. It's a little bit early to talk playoffs, but we'll go ahead and get you some standings in the leagues as well. Lima Locos sit on top of the Northern Division, 8-5. They currently have a record there. St. Clair Green Giants a half a game behind them at 8-6. Here comes the first pitch to him. A high fastball from Jenkins. Count goes to 1-0. Saginaw Sugar Beets won their game here today. They currently sit 10-8. They're also a half game back behind Lima. The Muskegon Clippers, winning their game, got back to 500. They're a game and a half behind Lima, half a game out of 3rd. Again, the top 3 players. This is 2-0 now here. To the top of the order, Jacob Burlingame. He is, again, 1-for-2 Also drew a walk. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to him. Missing low, ball 3, and he's not swinging at anything in his Burlingame. Muskegon Clippers sit a game out of third, which would be the final qualification spot. A little too early to talk about playoff spot, but they are 8-8. Then the Grand Lake Mariners tied with them as this one catches the plate there. 3-1 the count here to Burlingame. Mariners at 7-7 could be on their way to 8-7, try to get back 500 for the first time since we faced the Irish Hill Leprechauns in Adrian, Michigan, and beat them in their first game. Here comes the 3-1 pitch from Jenkins. This one is fouled back. Count now goes full at 3-2. Then the Irish Hill Leprechauns lost to the Hamilton Joes. They are now 6-10 on the year, 2 games back from the Mariners. Like your Erie Monarchs sit at the bottom of the poll at 4-8 in the North. 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch. Popped high into center field. Running back Hayden Cart will make the catch, and that will retire the second batter. It's an F8 there, and that will now bring up Patrick Smith. He is 1 for 3 with a single back in the third. From Purdue University, he will now come in. The left fielder, he will bat left, and he will be the third batter faced here in this inning for Jonah Jenkins. Now look at the Southern Division standings. Cincinnati Steam have a 10-3 record. Again, Mariners split a doubleheader with them. Got to feel pretty good about that. They sit at 10-3 in the Southern Division. Southern Ohio Copperheads are half a game back behind them at 9-3. Galleon Graders at 9-4 are full game back. Then it's a big drop to Xenia Scouts at 4 games behind. They sit at 6-7. The Richmond Jazz now sit at 6-8 as it is. It's a big cut on and miss there by Patrick Smith. He goes down to the count 0-2. As I was saying, the Richmond Jazz sit at 6-8. They are currently 5th in the standings. Hamilton Joes just beating the Irish Leprechauns now sit at 4-11. They are 6th in the South. And then in the basement of the South, Licking County Settlers. This one hit high. R.J. Williams cannot make the catch, and he will be allowing there to be the play made, and it'll be, I believe, ruled a double there for Patrick Smith. Just in front of it was R.J. Williams. Then he overran it. Because if he hadn't have overrun it, then probably would have only been a single. But so a 2-out double there for Patrick Smith. Jared Kengott 0 for 3 on the day with a few flyouts to his name. He's actually flown out to left, center, and right at all times. So he will be looking to improve. He bats right, yet to reach base this time. His at-bats. Looks at a knee-high fastball. Good movement there. Catch in the corner. 0-1 the count here now to Kengott. Runner on second. 5-2. Mariners still on top here in the bottom of the 7th. They've got to defend for at least 7 more outs. Throw down to third. It is in time. They will catch him trying to go on a wild pitch. And that will retire the side as Patrick Smith gets caught there trying to go from second to third. That will retire the side. Mariners still leading 5-2. There was no run scored on the one hit. No errors. No men left on base. We'll head to the top of the 8th. Due up for the Mariners, R.J. Williams, Van Acker, and Jake Coney. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. I'll be right back. So we now return here to the top of the 8th. Mariners have 2 more chances to pad their run lead and also have to defend the lead for 2 more innings as well. It is currently 5-2. They are on top. There has not been a score since the 3rd inning. So zeros put on the board, 4th inning, and now here to the 8th.
Right fielder, number 4,
R.J. Williams wearing number 4. He is 1 for 3 with a double in his first time up. He's since swung himself into a strikeout back in the 3rd and the 5th. But it was a double for him back in the 2nd. His only hit of the day. So now he steps in, batting left against the left-handed pitcher, still returning to the mound. He shows bunt, pulls it back as it's a low fastball missing. 1-0 now the count. Grant Freeman returns to the mound for the Mariners. Or for the Jazz, I should say. Get you some updates as this one missing again. Ball 2. 2-0 now the count here. He was showing bunt, was RJ. But he pulled it back again. We'll see what he does here. But he's shown his bunt now twice. I think he'll be swinging this time. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. It's a high fastball there. 3-0. Updates from around the majors. Cleveland Indians lead 2-1 over the Cardinals in St. Louis. 3-0 now the count here to RJ. Detroit Tigers and Oakland Athletics tied at 7 in the top of the 8th in Detroit. Pirates and Mets tied at 3 in the bottom of the 9th, as this is a strike called here. 3-1. That's in New York. Bottom of the 9th, New York trying to walk it off. Diamondbacks lead 5-3 against the Miami Marlins in Miami, the bottom of the 8th. The 8th just ended as this one is chopped. It will get into the gap past the shortstop, and R.J. Williams will have his second base hit of the game. This time it's a leadoff single. Pick up Van Acker, 1 for 3. Acker struck out swinging back in the 5th, but he got a single in the 4th. That's his base hit thus far with a runner at first. He'll be batting right. See what he can do against the lefty. More updates from Major League scores. Braves trail at home against the Reds, 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Rangers have a 2-0 lead in the top of the 7th over the San Diego Padres. Twins and Sox tied at 0 in Chicago, bottom of the 1st. Freeman looks in for his sign. Here comes the first pitch to Acker. He chops this one foul towards the backstop to go to 0-1. Now it looks like we're going to maybe have another conversation between... Nope, the umpire's just going to hand the ball to him directly. Maybe have a 1 or 2 words for him, but it's not like the first one where the pitcher had to defend his stance. And now the umpire wants to clean off the plate as well before we continue. 0-1 the count here to Acker. As the Cubs and Dodgers in LA are tied at 0. That's just in the top of the 1st. That game just got going. Rays beat the Nationals 1-0 in Tampa Bay. Yankees beat the Phillies 6-0 in Philadelphia. And the Red Sox, beat the Angels in Boston 9-1. Throwback to first. R.J. Williams gets back in time. Let's see what he can do now as he gets aboard. See if he doesn't try to run. See if they don't try to send him with a 5-2 lead, though. They may not have to. All depends on how close or how daring Damon Hacker wants to play this one. As this one doesn't matter. This one will get past the catcher here, and R.J. Williams will round second and head to third. There will be no throw. So going from first to second there on... We'll see how they rule it. I think that was a pass ball. Got through the legs, though, of the catcher. They'll rule it a wild pitch, though. So now there's a runner at third with nobody out. Van Acker will step in. So say it was a wild pitch. Officially, 1-1 now the count here to Acker, by the way. Runner at third. Let's see if he can drive him in with his second base hit of the game. Try to get some insurance runs here on the board for the Mariners, because in any sport, but especially baseball, when there's no time limit, no lead is safe. As we now go on past our second hour of play here. Currently, the time is about 2 hours and 10 minutes as Van Acker will swing at this one. He fouls it off. Acker from the left-hander Freeman. Grant Freeman, who again swung on and missed. Acker will go down swinging. That will be the second time he gets struck out. It'll be the third strikeout of the day. Our correction, 5th strikeout of the day for Freemian. That'll bring up Jack Coney, second baseman. He is 0 for 2 with a walk, though, and a stolen base back in the third. He also came around to score. After that walk, he advanced to second on a wild pitch, then got to third, stealing the base, and then reached and got home on an error, as this one misses inside to him. 1-0 now the count to him. Again, he bats right, too, so back-to-back righties here for the Mariners. It's a very rare occurrence. It actually happens twice in this lineup as it currently sits. The other time is Hayden Carton, Logan Adams, the catcher. Here comes the 1-0. As this one, it looks like a check swing, but he ends up holding up. Ends up scooping up the play there. And that will retire now Coney. Unassisted play there by the first baseman. Looked like a check swing there by Coney. It just kind of went off of his bat. And unfortunately went right to the first baseman. So now with 2 away, runner still on third, and R.J. Williams. Evan Spry now steps in. He is 0 for 3 with a walk back in the fourth, though. He struck out swinging twice as well. Here comes the first pitch to him. Low fastball there. 1-0. 5-2 the score. Mariners on top. They have a runner at third. Spry might be trying to look for his first RBI of the game with that, if he can get a decent base hit. But he might just want to try to get on base. This is a high fastball. 2-0 now the count to him with 2 outs. For Spry, he spends a lot of time in the leadoff spot. And he always bats in the top of the lineup because he takes his walks. He's not too aggressive with his bat. As here comes the 2-0 pitch to him. This will catch the outside corner at the knees. 2-1. The count now to him as that was strike called 1. Again, Spry hitting .333 coming into this game with a .435 on-base percentage. Just because he takes his walks. That's why Damon Hacker likes to play him up there. Coach Hacker's told him that. He said, because you take your walks, I'm not afraid to lead you off. Here's now swings at this one, fouls it back into the screen. 2-2 now the count to him. With 2 outs, runner on third. 5-2 the score. Mariners on top here in the top of the 8th. 7 hits for them to just 5 for the home team. Home team's committed 2 errors, 1 error for the Mariners. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Chopped high into left. Coming in, making the catch will be the left fielder. Smith will make the play, and that will retire the side. We will now head to the bottom of the 8th. Mariners have 6 outs here to try to secure this lead and go home with an 8-7 record, but they've got to go through the bottom of the 8th here first. A-Joy 5-2 lead. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. I'll be right back. So Jonah Jenkins returns to the mound now here. He's gotten the last 4 outs, actually, for the Mariners. He got the last out in the 6th, then he got the 3 for them.
Leading off,
It'll be Jared Kingot to lead off. Wearing number 9. He'll lead off. Again, he actually had an at-bat going, but then trying to advance from second to third on a wild pitch was Patrick Smith. Logan Adams was able to catch him as here's a knee-high fastball on the inside corner. 0-1 the count here quickly. So Kingot will get another chance at his 4th at-bat of the game. He is 0 for 3, flew out to center, right, and left. Here comes the 0-1 to him. This is low. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. See who they get up here for a potential save situation for the Mariners if the score were to hold. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Jenkins. Swung on and missed by Kingot. Count goes to 1-2. Jenkins has yet to strike anybody out today. He's only struck out one batter, and this is his third appearance. He only struck out one batter on the year. He's not a strikeout pitcher. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. This one will be cracked off the bat right to Chris Myers. Shortstop gathers it up, throws it over to first in time. 6-3 the play. There's one away. That's what Jenkins does. He gets ground balls. He gets high flies. He doesn't allow. He's a contact pitcher, which unfortunately comes with the risk of scoring runs. Again, why he has a 7.36 ERA in just his 3 2/3 innings pitched. Well, further than that now, it's shrank, but that was coming into this game. He does have a 1-0 record, though. By the way, at Dartmouth, he did not have an appearance this past season, as this is the first pitch here to now Jackson Blevins. He is 0 for 3, reached on an error back in the third. This will be his fourth plate appearance. He looks at a fastball high, ball 1. Here comes the second pitch to him. It's cut on and missed. Thrown by him. Count goes to 1-1 with 1 out, nobody on. Here comes the 1-1 pitch with 1 out. Just a bit outside, 2-1. For Jenkins, he attended Chaparral High School, where he lettered 3 times. He was a team MVP, as this is a high fly ball, and it will leave the park. So, drawing within a run closer will be the Jazz, as this one, without a doubt, left the park. Just past my vision. Now it's 5-3. Solo home run there from Blevins, his first base hit of the game, and it's a beauty. It'll be his first RBI of the game as well. 5-3 now the score. And Jenkins will get a new ball. And he'll be facing a guy who has walked twice and struck out his only other time. He's 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Austin Ulick, the catcher, now comes in. Here comes the first pitch to him. It's inside, ball 1. 0-1 now the count. 1-0 the count now here. 5-3 the score. Mariners trying to hold on here. Is this one catching the inside corner there of the plate now. 1-1 the count here. Jenkins doesn't have a lot of velocity to his pitches either, but when you're a contact pitcher, you do risk those home runs. As he looks at a fastball here, missing inside. 2-1. Not a lot of speed to it either. We'll see if he can't deliver the 2-1 here. This will be inside, missing. 3-1 now the count. With a 3-1 count here with 1 out. 5-3 the score here. Mariners on top by 2. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Cut on and missed. Ulick will fill up the count now at 3-2 with 1 out, nobody on. Jenkins gathers, delivers the 3-2 pitch. Popped high, deep to center. Running over, Hayden Cart will make the catch to retire Ulick. That one was right at the fence, too. A little bit more carry, and that one could have been gone, as that one was right by the fence. But that'll bring up Robbie McConnell. He is 1 for 3 on the day. He swung out twice. He is struck out swinging. He had a single and a stolen base back in the 4th. He will now come in batting right against the righty. 5-3 the lead. Mariners on top here with 2 outs, nobody on. Here comes the first pitch from Jenkins to Magaha. This one just missing inside. Maybe a little bit high, 1-0. Looking in for his sign, gathering. Count now 1-1 with 2 outs, nobody on. Looking in for his sign is Jenkins. He will step back and deliver the 1-1 pitch. This one will broken bat there. Pops high, doesn't leave the infield. Coming in, making the diving catch will be the second baseman and Jack Coney, and that will retire the side. And boy, he had to run in. He was playing a little bit further back, and that one off the bat, you knew it was broken, a broken bat, and it. Great play there by Coney to dive in, make the catch, retire the side, but not before a home run out to right field. Scored another run. Mariners only leading by 2 here. 5-3 is the score. They'll have one more chance to pad some insurance, and then they'll have to defend the bottom of the ninth. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So, new pitcher on the mound here. Cooper Denny, a right-handed pitcher, steps on. And I promised you guys I went on and made sure all my rosters were updated yesterday. I guess that was one day too soon. When I went on and updated stats and roster, as now Cooper Denny was not on the roster. In fact, number 22, Luke Huster, was listed on the roster as 22. But I will go ahead and get you some information here on Cooper Denny. I can't tell you he's a right-hander, though. And I'll get you some more information when it is available to me as I go in and look on the roster. Due up for the Mariners will be Jaron Lovely, Chris Myers, and Jake McCall, the 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Mariners. Lovely is 0 for 4. He reached on an error back in the third. That is the only time. He wears number 33. So Cooper Denny is listed as a catcher online. He'll be pitching here, though, today. He's from Kettering, Ohio. He attends Edison State College. He's a right-handed pitcher at 6 feet tall, 170 pounds. Final meeting on the mound here between the pitcher and catcher as the Mariners have a 5-3 lead here, trying to pad to that lead, but we'll see who they get up in the bullpen to try to close this one out, as normal late-game closer Tyler Lunicky will not be available here for this game. Here comes the first pitch to Lovely. It's an outside fastball there, 1-0. Again, Lovely struck out looking his last time up. Only time he reached safely was on an error. As he swings at this one, pops it high towards the third base dugout. It looks like it will just get out of play. 1-1 now the count. Looks like up and throwing in the bullpen for the Mariners is Mackenzie Hicks, number 37. Here comes the 1-1 delivery here to Lovely. It's high. Ball 2, 2-1 now the count. We'll see if Mackenzie Hicks is indeed the one who comes in, but he's the only pitcher up throwing. We've got a couple other guys doing warm-up stretches as well, but Hicks is the only one throwing. He's a righty from Echo, Alabama. 2-1 now. Here the count to Lovely. He will gather and set, deliver, bounces out in front of the plate. 3-1 now here to Lovely from Cooper Denny. As this one is chopped back here. 3-2 now. Lovely's filled up the count. Cooper Denny's just got to try to get 3 outs. Again, he's listed as a catcher. He probably will play there sooner rather than later, but right now they needed him on the mound. As again, only 8 pitchers listed on the roster thus far for the Jazz. As here comes the 3-2 pitch. This one will be hit down the first base line. It'll go just foul. And so the count remains full at 3-2. Again, we are in the top of the ninth. Mariners have a 5-3 lead on 7 hits. 5 hits for the home team. Only 1 error committed today by the defense for the Mariners, 2 by the Jazz. If this result were to hold, the Mariners would get up to 8-7 on the year. As this one is popped high towards the third base dugout. Looks like it will just get out of play past the third base dugout. So we'll go again at 3-2. Lovely doing a good job here of staying alive, trying to find something here to either swing at or take his walk. Again, 438 on base percentage coming into this game. He's just trying to either draw that walk, get that hit that he has yet to get here on the day. As a 3-2 pitch will be gathered and delivered here by Cooper. Swung on high, deep to center, but not enough distance, as getting under this one will be Burlingame, and that will retire Jaron Lovely. That one was high, just did not carry far enough.
Now batting shortstop,
And so
number 40,
Chris Myers, the shortstop, he is 1 for 3 on the day with a single back of the third. He drew a walk in the 7th inning, though, also stole a base. Nothing became of it, though. He will now come up with 1 away. Then he will step back on with 1 out. Chris Myers, a left-handed batter, 1 for 3. 5-3 the score. Here comes the delivery. This will be hit right to the shortstop, gathering up, making the throw. Offline, though, pulls him off the bag. And so reaching safely there will be Myers. Got to imagine that might be a throwing error there, and they will rule the throwing error on the shortstop Turner for pulling him off the bag. So E6. That'll bring up Jake McCall, designated hitter. He's 0 for 3 on the D, reached on an error back in the 5th. He also walked in the 3rd, grounded out to 2nd his most recent time up. With 1 out, 5-3 the score here as McCall steps in, batting left against the right-handed pitcher. Here comes the delivery. Bounces out in front of the plate, gets away from the catcher, and so McCall will head to 2nd, and they will hold him up there. McCall with not quite as much speed as R.J. Williams had, because R.J. Williams on a very similar pass ball, or a wild pitch there, was able to advance all the way from 1st to 2nd, but R.J. Williams is a lot faster than McCall is. McCall plays first base when he isn't designated hitting. So 1-0 now the count here to McCall. Actually, correction, Myers is the man on the base. Shortstop still doesn't quite have the speed of R.J. Williams, as this one is 2-0 missing outside. Myers does have 4 stolen bases if he were to try to advance to 3rd if he wanted to. But with a 5-3 lead, they may not want to be too aggressive with the base running. So here comes the 2-0 lead, and never mind, the runner goes. Doesn't matter, this is foul down the first base line. 2-1. Isn't it funny when broadcasters start talking about, well, in this situation, runner may or may not want to go, probably won't, and then they do exactly what you say they won't do. So now, Myers will head back to 2nd. McCall has a 2-1 count here from Cooper. Cooper looking for his sign. Check back here to 2nd. He will deliver. This one will be towards the 2nd baseman. Davis will make the catch. Runner will advance to 3rd. And there's now 1 away. That was 4-3. As Davis was in perfect position there to scoop that one up.
Now batting center fielder, number 44,
Hayden Cart will now step in. He's 0 for 2 on the day after he replaced Ryan Stacy back in the bottom of the 3rd defensively, and now is hit for him. Again, if you're just joining us, Ryan Stacy has scored 4 runs off of his bat. It was a solo shot to right field his first time up in the 2nd, and then a 3 RBI double in the 3rd. They pulled him shortly after that. Said, okay, you've gotten yours. Let's give Hayden Cart a chance. Hayden Cart 0 for 2 now steps in, batting right against the righty. Here comes the first pitch to him. Missing outside. Ball 1, 1-0 now the count. 2 outs. Runner on 3rd is Chris Myers. He reached via the throwing error of the shortstop, as here comes the 1-0 pitch. This is hit foul towards the Mariners bullpen. Count goes to 1-1. Hayden Cart struck out swinging his second time up. His first time up, he popped out to second. So he looks at a 1-1 count from Denny Cooper. Here comes the 1-1 delivery. Missing high. Ball 2. Looked like a pretty good pitch. A good curveball there from him. Thought it dropped into the zone, but it's a 2-1 count now here to Cart. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on. Made a loud sound, but once again just fouled off right towards between the dugout and the bullpen of the Mariners. And now the count is 2-2. With 2 outs, runner on third. Mariners have a 5-3 lead here in the top of the 9th. This is low, maybe a little bit outside. Count fills up now to Cart 3-2. Cart trying to get on base for the first time here today, so more than likely be his last chance to do it. As here comes the 3-2 delivery, payoff pitch. Hit into the gap there into left field, and that will drive in a run on an RBI single. Mariners have a 6-3 lead now, adding some insurance as Hayden Cart will get an RBI. And for him, that'll be his second RBI of the year. He'll come on a single there, so now he's 1 for 3. Logan Adams, 1 for 4 on the day with a single back in the 5th. He struck out swinging his most recent time up in the 7th. With 2 outs, a runner on first. We'll see what he can do with it. He steps in batting right against the righty Cooper. Here comes the first pitch. This one is towards the Mariners' bullpen, and now the count goes to 0-1. That seems to be the favorable spot, at least for these two righties back-to-back, hitting it towards that Mariners bullpen. Every time they fouled him off, they fouled him tapped down and then towards the bullpen. Here comes the 0-1. Cooper will wave off the first pitch. He'll agree with the second. As now 0-1 delivered. Low outside. Ball 1. 1-1 the count now. Again, Hayden Cart, center fielder, currently on first. Had the RBI single here with 2 outs. Adams now batting right. 1-1 the count. Here comes the 1-1 delivery. High. Runner goes. Hayden Cart slides in. And they will catch him trying to steal. So Hayden Cart will go out trying to steal, but not before he scores an RBI single. There was 1 hit in this inning, and also an error. 1 run scored. No men left on base. We will head to the bottom of the 9th, and the Mariners will try to close it out here on the road to get back to above 500. We'll talk about the new pitcher when he comes out. Thank you for listening here on YouTube. Be right back. So Mackenzie Hicks comes out for his first opportunity at a save this season. Again, the 2 previous saves on the season have both gone to Tyler Lunicki, but now Mackenzie Hicks, with Tyler Lunicki unavailable, will come out. An Echo, Alabama native attends the Troy University, where he'll be entering his 2nd season. He did not play at Troy this past year. He's only had 1 previous appearance on the season. He struck out 1, didn't walk anybody. He went 2 innings, did not allow a run. For Jonah Jenkins, he went 2 1/3 inning. He allowed just the 1 run. It was a solo shot by Blevins. That was also the 1 of 2 hits he allowed in this game. He did not walk anybody, but he also did not strike out anybody. So Mackenzie Hicks tries to come on for the save. The Mariners have a 6-3 lead here in the bottom of the 9th. We'll see what they can do. And for the Jazz, their last hopes are Austin Turner, Bailey Mosley, and DeAndre Davis. Austin Turner 1 for 3 on the day with a single in the 6th. Other than that, he struck out swinging twice before that. He'll lead it off. It is the 7, 8, 9 hitters trying to get this one going, and with a 3-run lead, let's see if Hicks can hold on here. It'll get him some help from the defense. Only 1 error committed by the defense here, which in a perfect world, you'd have a perfect no-error game, but that's not been the case here today. But their opponents have allowed 3 errors, so we'll see what happens here. Batting right against the right-handed Hicks is Austin Turner. Again, 1 for 3 with a single in his most recent time up. Cuts on and misses on the first pitch. 0-1 now the count to him. We'll also see how big that insurance run off the bat of Hayden Cart was as we continue the play here. As this is a high fastball missing. 1-1 now the count here to Turner, seeing if he would chase the high heat. Did not give chase. 1-1 count. Hicks will gather and deliver. Missing outside and low. Ball 2. 2-1 the count now here to Turner. Here comes the 2-1. Popped back and out of play. Count evens up at 2-2. 2-2 the count, 6-3 the score. Nobody on, as this is the leadoff man in Austin Turner. Mackenzie Hicks trying to close the game out here as he delivers the 2-2. This one is swung on foul towards the first base dugout, and will go again at 2-2. Hicks, the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Mariners. And he will gather his 2-2 set and deliver. Swung on and missed. That'll be the first out of the inning for Hicks. It'll be the first strikeout of the day for him. It'll also be his 2nd strikeout of the year. That'll bring up Bailey Moses, 3rd baseman. Action correction, we have a pitch hitter. It'll be number 11. Jared Wolf has a .206 hitting percentage. So Mosley ends the day 0 for 3. And we'll see if Jared Wolf can have a better day. Jared Wolf attends Wabash College from Plainfield, Indiana. For Wolf, actually correction, he's from Terre Haute, Indiana. .206 hitting percentage with a .317 on-base percentage. Inside, ball 1. Hicks will gather the 1-0 pitch and deliver. Catching the high inside corner there. 1-1 now the count. 1 out, nobody on. 6-3 the score. Mariners on top here in the bottom of the 9th. 8 hits for the Mariners, just 5 for the home team as this one misses inside. Looked right around the same spot as the previous pitch, but this one I guess just a little bit too inside. 2-1 the count. Here comes Hicks to deliver the 2-1 count. Popped back towards the 3rd base dugout, but will get out of play. Just barely, though. Almost a little disappointing. Somebody didn't try to run over there and get that one. So it was just out of play. There was a fence there they could have reached over, but I guess they felt like they weren't going to get to it in time. Count goes to 2-2. 2-2 the count. 1 out here to Jared Wolf, pinch hitting for Mosley. So here comes the 2-2 delivery, low and inside. Ball 3, the count runs full. 3-2 the count. And Hicks will gather and deliver. Here comes the payoff pitch. Low and inside. And it'll get away from catcher Logan Adams, so that'll allow him to go to first. And now he'll round for second. Adams will throw to second. He'll go in there standing. And so there he will draw a walk and advance on a wild pitch all the way to second. As he saw the moment that got away from Adams, he took off running. And Jared Wolf had some hit, had some speed. So he'll be on second now. That'll bring up Bill Kroll will now step in. He'll be pinch hitting for DeAndre Davis. So Kroll hitting 250 on the year. DeAndre Davis was 0 for 3. See if DeAndre Davis can turn the tides in this 9-hole. As Hicks will look in for his sign, he will gather his grip in the glove, checks back to second as he does. Here comes the first pitch to Kroll, low and in the dirt, gathered up there nicely by Adams. 1-0 now the count. Count 1-0. Hicks will gather, check back to second. Runner on second is Jared Wolf. Swung on and missed here by Kroll. Count evens up at 1-1. Really was trying to find something there. Kroll was, though, swinging at a clear ball low and outside. 1-1 now the count here with 1 out. Runner on first. Here comes a delivery to him. This one is chopped down the third base line. Foul towards the Mariners dugout. And bullpen. The count goes to 1-2 here now to Kroll. Hicks in a favorable count. See what he tries to deliver here. Try to get Kroll out. Kroll, I'm sure, would just be looking try maybe to advance the runner. About Kroll's power, he does have 2 extra base hits as he looks at ball 2 here outside and low. 2-2 the count. Two now the count. Hicks will look in for his sign. He does have the runner at second. And Jared Wolf, who was walked and then advanced to second on that wild pitch that he took off from the box. It was a wild pitch that walked him. He just took off and headed towards second without even a second glance. Now the count runs full. Here to Kroll, 3-2. 1 out. Runner on second. Here comes the payoff pitch. Popped high, out into center. Hayden Cart will not make the catch. That one will get past him, and now coming and heading home will be Jared Wolf. He will run in, and he will score. So it'll be an RBI double there by Bill Kroll. And so with only 1 away, 6-4 now the score.
Now batting, center fielder from Canisius
Jazz draw within 1 run closer here at home. That'll go back to the top of the order. Jacob Burlingame, the center fielder, will step back in. He is 1 for 3 on the day, but drew a walk in the third, had a single back in the first. And now Mackenzie Hicks trying to get back into this one. They'll have, looks like they're running someone out to the bullpen now here to throw, perhaps keeping a shorter leash on Mackenzie Hicks now. With only 1 out, Hicks has got a runner still at second. He's given up 1 run here off of a deep ball out into center. Hayden Cart could not make the diving backwards catch. As Hicks will deliver the first pitch here, it'll be a strike on the outside part of the plate to Burlingame. Mariners still on top, 6-4 here, but now the tying run is at the plate as here's this delivered, bounced out in front of the plate, gathered up there nicely by Adams, and scampering back will be Bill Kroll to second base. Nobody was covering, so it wasn't like Adams could throw. Count now 1-1 here to Burlingame. Again, he's reached base safely twice. Once was on a walk, one was on a single. That was in the first and third. Since then, he has struck out swinging in the fifth and flown out to center. His most recent time up back in the seventh as he fouls this one up off. The count now 1-2 to him. Hicks gathers. Looks like up in the bullpen throwing, it might be either Bradley Calhoun or Tommy Seamer. Possibly Max Gray as well. As here comes the delivery. Bounces out in front of the plate. Logan Adams keep it in front of him nicely. Count evens up at 2-2. Kroll will scamper back into second. Six to 4 the score, 2-2 the count with 1 out, runner on second. Hicks trying to complete the save here and protect this lead and give the Mariners their second victory in a row. It's been a while since the Mariners have played a 9-inning game as well, as this one is fouled back to stay alive. 2-2 now the count. Again, it's been a while since the Mariners have played a 9-inning game. They've had a couple of double headers. Last time played a 9-inning game was last Wednesday, almost a week ago. That was against the Irish Hill Leprechauns. They did lose that one up there in Adrian, Michigan. 2-2 the count now with one out. Hicks delivers. Cut on and missed. Down goes swinging the second strikeout for Hicks. And there's now 2 away. And the Jazz are down to their last out. They do have a runner on second. Patrick Smith steps up. He is 2 for 4 on the day. He had a double back in the 7th and a single in the 3rd. Other than that, he's popped out and grounded out. So he's 2 for 4. And he'll be trying to finish this game off. He'll be trying to keep this inning going for the Jazz and try to keep on the comeback trail. He'll be batting left against Hicks, the right-handed pitcher who checks back, delivers. Outside knee-high fastball there at the corner, 0-1. Runner on second is Bill Krall, had an RBI double after Jared Wolf was driven in from second base. 2 strikeouts for Hicks, though. He has 2 outs. And this one will be strike 2, and the Mariners have to get one more strike here. Jazz are down to their last strike. Again, knee-high fastball for Hicks. He'll look in. Has the 0-2 count. 2 outs. Runner on second. Hicks will check back to second. Deliver the 0-2. Swung on and missed. It'll get away from Adams. Adams will throw down to first, and that'll be a ball game. Mariners walk away with a 6-4 victory here in Richmond, Indiana. So 3 strikeouts in the inning for Hicks. He will get the save. The win will go to Bear Bellamy. That'll be his 2nd win of the year. He'll be 2-0. And for Aaron Ernest, he will drop the game. He'll fall to 0-2 on the year. Richmond Jazz and Grand Lake Mariners will play here again tomorrow. We'll go ahead and give you our player of the game and final thoughts right now. Player of the game will have to be a man who played less than half the game. It'd have to be Ryan Stacy. He drove in 4 runs for him. You know what? We'll just say this. It'll be the 5-hole in general for this lineup. Ryan Stacy drove in 4 runs. Hayden, he'll be the runner. He'll be the player of the game for the Mariners. And, of course, Hayden Cart took over that 5-hole well, came up 1 for 3 with an RBI double back in the 9th. So Mariners walk away with a 6-4 victory here in this one tonight. Mackenzie Hicks shut the door here. That'll just about conclude my broadcast. But before I go, I would like to send out a couple of thank yous. First, I would like to thank the Grand Lake Mariners for allowing me to broadcast their entire 42-game season. Second, I would also like to thank Kevin McGowan, the GM of the Mariners, for signing me on for this internship, allowing me to get the experience of broadcasting a sport. I will confess I have probably the least amount of experience in, but I do have experience. I'm improving. Thank you so much, Kevin, for signing me on for this internship. I'd also like to thank my host family, as well as every other host family for the Mariners this summer, for opening up their homes to us, providing meals, places to sleep for both the team and the staff. Thank you guys so much. You guys are so important to our season. Lastly, I would like to thank everybody who makes each and every game possible for not just the Mariners, but the entire Great Lakes Summer League. That includes providing the traveling accommodations, providing places to play and broadcast, set the schedule, run the stats. Each and every one of you guys are very important to this season. Thank you so much. Be sure to tune in for our next game. It'll be supposedly 7:05. We'll see if the game starts on time here from Richmond, Indiana. Again, the Jazz and the Steam will go at it again for the 4th time this year. Mariners have a 3-0 lead on that series, and they have won the series. We'll see if they can complete the sweep. Tomorrow, it'll be a 7:05 start. I will have all the play-by-play action right here on YouTube. Once again, your final score here is the Mariners coming out on top over the losing team. The final score was 6-4. Your losing team is the Richmond Jazz. I'm Donovan Mann, your voice of the Grand Lake Mariners, saying, have a wonderful night, and go Mariners.